All right. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to How to Master SQL DBA with TK. And as you already know, I'm TK. And if you're new to this channel, this is our YouTube page where we post all our videos about SQL. All right, let me click on my notepad and let's dive into it. So for today, this is what we are going to be doing. Number 20, we are going to back up and restore SQL databases. I know last time we completed the Windows failover cluster successfully. Please, if you haven't yet, go and check out the video. Okay, this is the overview of the project, right? Because you know we have projects that we accomplish. For today, our manager has given us a task that, hey, they want us to back up all the AdventureWorks databases that reside on SQL 01 right here. And then once we back them up, they want us to do what? Restore one of them called AdventureWorks where on SQL 02. Once we do that, then we make Agnes T, this account right here, sysadmin on SQL 02. So the request is very precise, it's clear, it's direct. There's nothing else we need to do. We do not need to ask more questions because the service request is very, very clear. Alrighty, so what we need to do right now is to go on our Hyper-V virtual machines and check. You see, SQL 1 is up and running, SQL 2 is up and running. So let's start with SQL 1 because that is where we are going to do the backups from, right? So go. If yours is not running, you know what? If yours is not running, you know what to do. Click and connect. All right, so let's go down here since mine is running and I'll connect to SQL 01 right here. I'll click and I'm now in my SQL 01. Like I always say, please do not confuse your server and your instance, right? Now we are on SQL 01, the server, right? Where it hosts where the drives, it hosts the file explorer, hosts the backup drive, log drives, right? That is the server. And before we start to do the backup, let's check the drives because we want to make sure that on the backup location, there is enough space for you to do your backup. That is something that you have to do. You make verify. So let's click on our file explorer, yellow folder. Then we click on the backup drive, or let's click on this PC. And now we are here. As we can see, it says right here, we have 18 GB, gigabytes free of 19. So at least we have space in there. All right, so good. Let's close. And now let's go where on our SQL instance. And how do we do that again? We click on our SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. Once we click that, we wait for it to open up. You see, SQL Server Management Studio. So now we want to connect to the instance. Okay, so we give it a few minutes. We just give it a few minutes for it to connect or for it to come up so we can connect. Now that we are in, we verify what instance do we want to connect to. SQL 01, method of authentication, Windows, that's Shiloh T, correct? And also Trust Server Certificate, then click connect. All right, now that we are inside, right? Okay, let's click on databases right here, the plus sign. It expands. We have all these user databases right here. Remember, these are user databases, and that is what we are going to be backing up today. So the first thing also we want to do, we have verified that we have space on the backup drive. Let's verify the sizes of the databases, right? Because we may have space here, but what if these databases are too big to fit in the space? Then we have a problem, right? So it's always good for you to check this drive, make sure it has space. Then you come to your databases, make sure that the sizes of the databases can also fit in there. Very important. So let's start with this one. Let's right click on this one and let's go to properties. And in properties, now let's check the space. The size of the database right here. Okay, as you can see, this is a very small database right here. It's not even up to 1 gigabyte. That is about 272 megabytes, which is like, I would say 0.5 megabytes ish, kind of, because the best way to do the convention, right? The change of convention, that's the right word. So the best way to do it, I do it right. If, for example, if this was about 16,000 MB megabytes, right? It's about 16 gigs. That's how I always do it. It's close enough. If it's like 16,000 megabytes, then I'll say it's about 16 gigs. So that's how. So for example, if it's 100,000 megabytes, then database is about 100 gigs big, right? So that is the best way I always do it. But for right now, this is small. This is not even up to 1 gig. So I know that. Okay, I click. Then I come here, I right click again, I go to properties, I do the same, check. This is the same like the last one. Okay, and then I click, go right here, go to properties. This is a little bit larger than the last one, right? Just a little bit. This is 336 megabytes. Okay, not gigabyte, megabyte. So I come over here and I go to properties and I check again. This is a little bit smaller than the last one, right? So this is about 225 megabytes, okay? And now I check this one, right click, go to properties, and I look at this one. So it is safe to say that honestly, all these 5 databases are not even up to 2 gigabytes, right? So we have, I remember the space here was about 18 gigabytes. So we are good to go when it comes to space because all this right here is going to fit in here plus. So that is a check. Now, how do we back up the databases? Good question. That's why we are here. We are going to start here and work our way all the way on top. So how do you back up your databases? First up, you right click, as you already know, Microsoft product. You right click to get more information. Once you right click, you go here, that says tax. You go from there, you go here and come here, that says backup, right? You click on that. Once you click on that, now you have this new window right here. Remember, when we restore our databases, I mentioned something to you. What did I say? I said your recovery mode determines the type of backup you can take. So now, if I do a drop down here, you will see that I can take just a differential and full backup because my recovery mode is what is in simple. If I wanted to take a transaction log backup, it has to be in full. So because it's not in full, I cannot take a transaction log backup. So that's the big difference between your full and your simple recovery mode. Please keep that in mind if you want to take a transaction log backup. If they ask you to take a transaction log backup, you come here, you can't find it simply because here it might be in a recovery mode might be simple. All right, now that we know that, let's verify. This is where the location of where the backups are going, right? Is the B drive, and also this is the B drive, then the SQL backup, then that's the name of the database. So here for right now, it is good, but I'm going to show you something later on, right? We can change this name, but for right now, let's keep it as it is. There's nothing wrong with that. So let's go to media. Look, let's verify the backup, right? I always like to do that. Verify backup when finished. Okay, then let me go to backup options. In backup options, right here, you see where it's here that says set backup compression. Since the backup are so small, I don't really need to do that. But if these were huge backups, like say 300, 400 gigs, and I need to squeeze them and I didn't have enough space, right, then I can try to compress the backup to make it smaller so it can fit in whatever space on the backup folder. But since we have enough space, everything looks good. So let's just click OK. And that's it. You see right here, it says the backup of database adventure of 2022 completed successfully. And that is it. We have backed our database up. So click OK. Now let's do the same thing for adventure of 2019. Right click. You go to task and you go to backup. Click on backup. Once in backup, again, it's in simple recovery mode, but don't worry, we are doing full. And also the location of where we are doing is fine, right? So we leave it at that. Then we go to media options. We verify our backups. Then we go to backup options. Everything looks good. We don't want to compress it. We just click OK. And that's it. Again, our backup is completed. And remember, please, these are small databases. That is why it's quick, right? It's like in seconds, boom, it's done. If you have huge databases like 100 gigabytes, 500 terabyte, it's going to take some time, right? So do not think that is as fast as what we are doing here, right? So remember that. Please keep that in mind. that the larger your database, the more time it's going to take. It can take anywhere from a minute to even hours, depending on your database size. All right, let's do this one, Adventure of 2017. Let's click on that. We go to task, and then we go to backups. Once we're in backups, everything looks good, like just like the last one. We go to media options, we verify, and again, everything looks good right here, no compression. We hit OK, and just like that, it is done. Boom. So the same thing, click task, backup, and then if you come here again, it's simple, but we are doing full, so we don't have to worry about that. This is okay, everything's okay. This we verify the backup, then everything looks good. Now I like to script, right? If you want to click OK, right, you can always script it. I told you that before. If you script this, it's scripting. You cancel this. This is the same thing. It's just saying that backup database this right here, right? You use master, obviously. Back up this database to this location right here, right? That's all that is saying. Then we click on it, execute, and it has done that. Now let's go to this one right here, AdventureWorks, and I'll show you something different. Let me click on it. So I'll click on it and go to task. Then I go to backup. Now, as you can see, this database right here is what is in full recovery mode. If I do a drop down, I can do a differential, I can do a log backup. You see, now I have a log because what? It's in full recovery mode. But everything else stays the same. So let me go to media, and I'm going to verify. And also let me click on backup option. It's a small database, so I'm not going to compress. But let me go back to general. There's something I want to do that you can also do. This name right here, you can change it. Remember, I said at the beginning that I'm going to show you how to rename your backup files, not the database name, right? Just the backup file. So if I click on remove, and I click on add, and I click on these three dots right here, now I have the option of rename. You see file name. Why do you want to rename a backup file? You want to rename a backup file, especially when you have a lot of backups in that location, right? For quick reference, because you don't want to go and you're looking for example, this one has Adventure 2017, Adventure 2019, right? It looks similar. Sometimes you might have a change request, a service request, so you want to make sure that you rename it so you can easily see it and easily find that file. So what are we going to do? Let's just say that we had a change request called change, so CH12345. That's the request name. So I'm just going to name it CH12345, and the extension is going to be what? .BAK, because that's the extension for a full backup. That's all I need to do. So if I click OK, I come here, I click OK. Now what? I can either script it out, or I can let me just click OK. I click OK, and that's it. Now the backup has completed successfully, and we have backed up every single database that we were asked to back up. Now, next question. How do you verify if your backup were actually backed up, right? You need proof. All you have to do is you can click right here on your File Explorer. Once you click there, you now go to the backup location right here. You click, and you click right here. Remember, on the backup folder, you should be able to see your backups here. All the backup that we just did, right? And to be sure, you can reference the times, right? Look at the time on my computer right here. The time say 11:10, and if you can see, these backups happen. 11:20. The last one happened at 11:19, close enough. 11:15, 11:15, and 11:16. So if you check the date, you know that these are the backups I just did, and also this is the one I just changed the name. Remember, I changed the name to CH12345.BAK. As you see, that is it right there. So I know for a fact that my backups were actually backing up. All right, so we are done with backing up. So the next thing that we want to do now is to restore this one right here, the one that I changed the name to ch123, we want to restore it where? To SQL02. So how do you do that? Good question. That's a very, very, very good question. So let me minimize from here and go all the way out, and let me go now on SQL02. I'm on SQL02, so let me just show you something real quick, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, let me do this and disconnect this. So, okay, click OK. And click OK. I know I've showed you this before, but let me do it again from fresh so we refresh our memory, right? Once I'm on SQL02, remember this is SQL02 right here, right? 02, as you can see, I can remote desktop because into SQL01, and once I remote desktop, I can choose the backup location on SQL01 so that I can just copy and paste on the backup location on SQL02. Remember that? Okay, let's do it. So remember, you come here, you click. So let me start it again so you watch what I'm doing. Click on your remote desktop connection. Once you click on that, you click on more options. Then you click on your local resources right here. Then I click on more. Then you should choose right here that says backup. If yours is not a check, please check. You see, mine's already checked, right? So make sure yours is checked. Now click on OK. Then once you click on OK, click on connect. And you click on connect. If you're prompted to put your password like it's doing right now, just use our famous password, America 2025. Let's see if I wrote it correctly. Yes. Then I click connect. It is connecting. So I'm on SQL02, but I want to connect to SQL01 so that, and also I'm mapping the drive on SQL01. You see, I'm now on SQL01 right here. You see that? Okay. So if I click on this folder, my File Explorer on SQL01, and I click on this PC, you will see something. Even though I'm on SQL01, I've mapped the backup location on what? HGC SQL02 right here, right? So all I need to do right now is to come here on SQL01. I click, and I copy this right here. So just right click and copy. Once I copy, I go back to this PC. Now I click on this folder right here on SQL02. Remember, this folder is on SQL02. I just right click, then I right click again and I paste. Say yes. If you say you need permission, just say continue. That's fine. And now it's copying to that folder. Wait for it. Now we have copied this backup folder into SQL02 backup location where we are going to do the restoration from. You see that? Very smooth. All right. All we have to do right now is just close from here. Then we sign out. Okay. 2 ways, right? Let me show you. We don't even need to sign out from here anymore. We don't need to. Another way, we can do it from here and do our restoration. We can click right here on our SMS. Okay, as a matter of fact, it's already up. Let me just disconnect from here because this is SQL01 instance. And let me close this Let me close this right here. Just close it. Okay. Now click on connect from here. You see that? Instead of click connected to SQL01, change that to 2. So you see it becomes SQL02 and you hit connect. Where we have to go back on SQL02. So now we are on SQL02 instance. Remember, I said that on your SSMS, you can connect to SQL01, SQL02 right from your SMS. Just like you can remote desktop to SQL01, SQL02 server, you can also remote desktop to your instance using SSMS, if that makes sense. Now, we are here. If we drop down to databases, we see there are no databases in here because it's SQL02. We haven't done any restoration on this instance. So what we want to do, we have to click on databases, then click on restore database. You should know that by now. Then you click that we are taking it from the device. Then you click on those 3 dots right here. Then you click on add right there. And as you can see, I'm picking up that database already. That is the database that is on this location. Again, if you can't see it, last time like we did, you go to all files, you click right here, you go to the drop down, select all files. If you still don't see it, you click on the B on your backup location, click right here, and it should be showing right now. But since this is showing, all we need to do is click on this. Then we click OK. Once we are here, we click OK. All right. Since we are here, a few things, right? Like we did last time. We can expand it. Look at it. So that's the name of the backup that we want to restore. As I told you, you see, the name of the database that we want to restore. Remember, we changed the name of the backup file, but the database name haven't changed. It's the AdventureWorks, right? Good. So let's click on Files. Everything looks good. This is the file location on SQL 02 that we wanted to go to. The E and the L and the data and the log. Everything looks good. We don't need to change anything. When we go to Options, now remember, there are no databases for us to overwrite. So everything is good. And also, we want to restore with recovery. So everything is good. So either I can script it out. You already know. I can just click OK. Let me click OK. And that's it. I restore this adventure successfully. If I click right here, and you see it's right there on SQL 02. Now that is how you back up a database on one server and you restore it on another server, on another instance. That's the keyword. You back it up to another server or instance, then restore it on another server or instance. Alrighty. So now that we have achieved that, we have one more thing to do. That asks us to do what? Give the AD account Agnes K sysadmin permission on this server. How do we do that? Right here. Again, security. You click on the plus sign. Then on logins, you right click Microsoft product. You go to new. And once you are here, remember the account is what? An AD account. So we are not creating it. We go to search. And remember, if I put Agnes, it's going to fail. If I put Agnes, just like that, Agnes.k, and I hit on check name, it is going to fail. You know why already, right? Because we have to do what? Change the location, right? Agnes was created not on this server, but on the Active Directory. So we have to do what? Check entire directory. So let's click OK. And also, sometimes you have to check on the object names because Agnes might be in a group. Always make sure that you select. Usually to be safe, I always check all of this, right? I just check everything. So click OK. And now let's check Agnes. That's it. She's coming up right now. You see that? Okay. Then we just click OK. Once we click OK, we are now here. They want us to give her a server role of sysadmin. So all we have to do, you come here, say where it says server role, click on that. And then you go all the way down right here where it says sysadmin. You click on it. And now Agnes is the sys administrator of this server. She controls everything that goes on in the server. So if we don't need to map her to any database, and we can check on the status. Her status is grant and is enabled, so that is good. So there's nothing else we need to do except to hit script it or hit OK. So let's script it, right? Because last I hit OK. So once we script it, do not forget to execute it. Once you execute it, you see right here, it says completed successfully. And now if I refresh right here, I do the plus sign, go down. Agnes and Agnes and Shiloh are both right here. You see that? Good. So we are done, and we have completed this part of our training for today or the project. It was successful. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope it was straightforward. I hope it wasn't that complicated. Alrighty, let me minimize this and let's see what we got going on for the next project. The next project is going to be, oh yes, always on. So we are going to be creating always on groups, right? Okay, that is a good one. That's a nice one. And I hope to see you then. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.